The easy road, it just keeps getting easier. This is Locked On Baylor.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Friday and happy game day, everybody. Drake Toll here from Sports Illustrated's Inside the Bears. Thank you for making Locked On Baylor your first listen every single day. This is March. Yesterday was March 1.0. Today is March 2.0. It's Baylor and UC Santa Barbara, the Gauchos, the Bears, squaring off today in a matchup between a 3 seed and a 14 seed. It's not supposed to be scary, and I'm going to dive in, as I have all week long, deeper into this matchup today, as it is game day, to give you a preview of this one. But first, how nice was that? Did you guys watch the games yesterday? I hope you watched the games yesterday. Because if you're looking around our bracket, I had a lot of people that said, hey, I heard what you said about Baylor's opportunity to be in the easiest portion of the bracket, in the easiest region of this bracket, and I disagree. Well, I'm doing some looking here, and the teams that they pointed out that Baylor might struggle with, you have the one Big 12 team that can make some noise in West Virginia. Some folks are like, well, Charleston, they're just a sweetheart. If you run into them at any point, they could be a buzzsaw. And then there was Virginia already beat Baylor, and they have to face Furman and San Diego State. Their path is kind of easy. And then the big one is Arizona. Arizona is going to kill Princeton. They're going to beat Missouri. How are you going to get past Arizona? There are people, some of my very best friends had Arizona in their national championship, in their Final Four, winning it all in my bracket challenges. Arizona, a team out of the South region. And to that I say, ha! Yes! You got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. The biggest upset every year, there's always that one. Like last year with South Dakota State, they're like, oh, South Dakota State's going to upset whoever it was. It didn't happen. There's always that one team that America says, you're our team. You're going to upset somebody. This year, it was mostly the Furman Paladins. Their first time to March in 43 years, maybe ever or something like that. I don't even know. And they lost in the coolest way to Virginia, who had a timeout, by the way. Virginia, a little banged up, just not ready for March. I don't know what's going on with Tony Bennett. I personally think this is a hot take. It's a hot take. I think he's the best coach in college basketball. I do. Tony Bennett. Yep. Yeah, I do. And I know what you're sitting there thinking, Drake, he has lost as a 4 seed now the last 2 straight years, lost to his 16 seed as a 1 seed. And you know what? You're exactly right. So I'm going to come off of my high horse with that one. Virginia sucks to be you, huh? They lost to Furman on a turnover and a 3-pointer at basically the buzzer to win the game. See you later, out of the tournament. Legendary. Awesome. Baylor now can't run into them. Another team with a little more proximity to the Bears that Baylor could face even earlier than Virginia was Arizona. There came a point, let me tell you a little story here. There came a point, my buddies and I have done a lock of the day. We have a group chat of 7 of us. Everybody sends in their lock of the day, and we all put a little money on FanDuel on that lock of the day. So everybody's kind of riding the same thing. We're all sitting around the living room. Well, one of my buddies, who I don't think knows basketball all that well, actually took Virginia as his lock of the day. I took Furman secretly. And then once that was revealed that I took Furman, everybody got really upset. They weren't happy with me that I went against the guys, the lock of the day. And then a bunch of my buddies took Arizona. And you know what happened? It was about a 7-point game. 10 minutes to go. I saw it was plus 700 and said, yeah, I'll throw $10 on it. Guys, come on. Princeton. Now, far be it from Baylor. Baylor would never, ever lose in March to an Ivy League school. It wouldn't happen. It never has happened. It will never happen. Please don't look it up to see if it did. Don't fact check, because it didn't. Arizona, on the other hand, losing to Princeton, I didn't really see it coming. I know a couple people, there were some murmurs of that being the big 15-2, that could be the upset. And sure enough, Princeton just plays, they out-rebound Arizona, play pristine basketball down the stretch, and as 16-point underdogs, knock off the Wildcats. So now, holding them to 55 points, by the way. So now, the 2 seed, the 4 seed, 2 of the top 4 seeds in Baylor's region are gone. You don't have to deal with them. The easiest path to a national championship just got even easier. This is not the strongest Baylor team in the world. This is not the best Baylor team that I've seen, obviously. This is not the best team in the Big 12. This might not even be the best team in the region. But by virtue of the teams ahead of Baylor that keep losing, the road that was already easy has gotten even easier. Moreover, and we'll see it today, Creighton plays NC State. At this rate, NC State might as well just go on and beat Creighton. Now we're seeing it around the rest of the league. That's what we're seeing. Around the rest of the region, it's what we're seeing. Who knows? NC State might just go and sweep out Creighton. Also comes with that is that Baylor can be a little bit more on upset watch with UCSB, with this kind of being the region of who knows what's going to happen, as it already was the region of chaos when it came out. But if you're the Bears, you're chomping at the bit. Please. And I'm going to get deeper into this matchup and give you a little preview. I'm just really happy that Baylor now has an easier route. Please don't lose to UCSB today. I'm begging you guys, do not lose to UCSB today. Not only have I put monetary value on it, I have promised people in very high places that Baylor's going to beat UCSB, and this game was going to be a complete wash, that it wouldn't even be close, that Baylor's going to win it outright easily, and it wouldn't even be a sweat. Please. You can't see Virginia go down and Arizona go down. You can't see your path become that easy and then decide to lose to UC Santa Barbara. God himself has come down and blessed you with a green and gold carpet to at least an Elite Eight. Please do not crap all over it. Please, Baylor. You are not good defensively. Frankly, you are terrible. You are not good in the post. Maybe the worst team in the Big 12, one of the worst in the Power 5. Those two things are not going very well for you. You needed to catch some breaks. You needed some good matchups. Matt Isbear always talks about how March is matchups. God has given you the matchups. He has taken away all the big, bad, scary teams, and he's given it to you, Baylor. Don't crap on it. You've crapped on some things in the NCAA tournament before. The Scott Drew can't coach, folks. They had a good point there for a while. Scott didn't win in March for a good portion of his career. Now he's got a national championship, and a lot of you on the team have seen said national championship, been on a team for that national championship. You know what it's like. Don't screw it up today. Don't screw it up now, please. The cynic himself, I am rooting for you a lot. I don't want to come on Monday's podcast and be like, I got to eat crow now. They lost to UCSB. Do not make me do that, please. What you can make me do is spend all of my time and all of my money at my favorite place in America to go, and that's my phone. Because on my phone, I can go to FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NCAA. No, it's not. That's not true. It is of the NFL, though. And not only the NFL, but also of the NBA. Right now, FanDuel, no sweat first bet, $1,000. At the time of recording this, I'm up $300 sports betting. Yeah, no. My parents don't love that I do it, but I do it. And I've made some dough because I have been very savvy with these live bets. I have taken live Furman, Morehead State, Hofstra, Princeton. They all worked out. So if you want to ride somebody's bets, ride mine. They have worked out because of FanDuel. And if you put a bet in and you don't win it, you put $1,000 on it, it doesn't hit, you get $1,000 back in free play. All right now at FanDuel.com/locked on. Again, FanDuel.com/locked on. A no sweat first bet. Go get your free play. They are trying to give you money at FanDuel. They are trying to give you money. FanDuel.com/locked on. Go check it out. All right, I'm giving you some previews, some notes, some things like that about UC Santa Barbara and Joe Pasternak's team. Joe Pasternak, by the way, graduated from Indiana in 1999 at Denver, Colorado's Ball Arena at 12:30 Central Time today, and I'm going to keep on going. Lisa Byington, by the way, is play-by-play. Steve Smith, the analyst. Avery Johnson also there. Andy Katz will be on the sideline. So some storylines in this game that I'm looking at. Baylor's appearing in the NCAA tournament for the 8th time in the last 9 tournaments. Would have been 9 out of 10, but the COVID year, obviously. And Baylor, 25-15 in their 14 NCAA tournament appearances, 18-9 under Scott Drew. Even take out that national championship run, it's still 12-9. You got a over 500 record in March. Scott's got it. Scott, at this point, can win in March. He can do it. He has 18 wins in March. That equates to 3 national championships. He only has 1, yes, but 18 wins. Yes, Scott can do it. I have confidence that him and the coaching staff can put together a win against UC Santa Barbara. Drew is actually, I didn't know this, by the way. I was doing some research. Matt Roberts is great. He sent me this. Drew is one of 2 active coaches. Did you know this? 2 have won an NCAA title and an NIT title. The only other one is John Calipari. Scott's the only one to coach and have won both at the same school, though. That's a fun little stipulation in there. Baylor is just one of 4 teams to be a top 3 seed or higher in the last 3 NCAA tournaments, and they're 8-5 all time when playing as a number 3 seed. They're appearing in the NCAA postseason for a school record 11th consecutive year. 9 NCAA tournaments, 2 NITs, and they are 41 and 24 in postseason tournaments over the last 15 seasons. This is the 3rd time that Baylor and UC Santa Barbara have met. You might remember the December 11th, 1965 matchup where the Bears won 78-75. I know most folks talk about it. Well, they're meeting here again. The Bears have actually played 18 of 32 games this season against teams in the NCAA tournament. That's 56%. And that's a huge difference in this game because Baylor's strength of schedule is so much better than UC Santa Barbara. Baylor's 8-10 against the tournament field, playing teams like Kansas, Marquette, Texas, UCLA, Gonzaga, Kansas State. All of those alone are 3 seeds, amongst others. Baylor is 7-4 in opening round games in the modern tournament era. That bodes well for the Bears. I'm giving you all the stats that should make you feel confident today because I think you should. You deserve to feel confident today. They're only 1 of 10 teams to appear in 8 of the last 9 tournaments. They won 17 of the last 18 neutral site games against non-conference opponents. That's an insane stat. All 9 of Baylor's losses have come against teams currently ranked in the top 30 in the latest net rankings as well. And they are 13-3 in the last 16 games against top 10 teams. Adam Flagler, Keontae George, LJ Cryer. Those 3 names we haven't talked about a lot on this podcast this week are going to be the difference in bringing Baylor a win today against UC Santa Barbara, a win against who I think will be Creighton, but at this point, everybody's getting upset, so it could be NC State on Sunday. This is a Bears team. Again, defense is not good. Low post scoring is not good. Rebounding is not elite. UC Santa Barbara can attack you in all those things. This team is slow. They are inconsistent. They do not go on runs, but damn it, I like them. I love them. I pay a lot of money to go here. So I think today what the key is that Baylor's way more athletic. They're way better at shooting the ball outside. Their free throws, solid, man. Flo Thamba has even been good at the line lately. If you play strong, good basketball, protect the rim. Scott, turn this on in the locker room, please. Just really quick. I know you use the other clips where we say Flo Thamba's not good at basketball. Turn this one on. Guys, you are so much more athletic. You are so much more physical. You are so much better than UC Santa Barbara. If you go out there and you play like you are so much better than UC Santa Barbara, you'll get up by 15. If you then stop playing that way, you will get down by 15. You have done that before this season. Just go out there, be the better team. It is what you are. Go do it. Beat the crap out of Santa Barbara. Beat Creighton. And folks, it's there. The path to a Final Four is right in front of you. Bama looked good. I'll give you that. Bama looked good. But I can at least buy you a ticket to the Elite Eight. Every other Big 12 team, every other tournament team should look at Baylor's path right now and go, crap. I wish that was us. I wish we had that path to the Final Four. We have a better shot. So don't give this one away. Don't give away one of the, just a wrapped up present, just a Christmas present. Princeton beating Arizona, Virginia losing to Furman. God has done it again. He has created a miracle. Got to follow through now. So go out there, go win, go beat them. You are not much faster, apparently. You are also a slow pace of play. Dictate the pace. Go get some rebounds. Dunk on them a few times. Show them what Big 12 basketball is about. This team comes from the I don't even know conference, and they play Cal State Fullerton and Cal Poly. They don't play Kansas or Iowa State. They don't play Kansas State, TCU. They don't play Texas. You do. You're beating those teams, too. It's time to, well, not Iowa State. It's time to do it. Go beat UCSB. That's my game preview. It's my pep talk, guys. Thanks for listening to me, by the way. Oh, also, thanks for going. I've seen a lot of you have been doing this. Thanks for going to Built Bar and actually signing up for the NCAA Built Bar tournament. Yeah. Built Bar is it's my favorite sponsor to eat. I can't eat FanDuel. Built Bar right now has a March Madness bracket. I'm voting for the coconut brownie puff. Coconut almond puff bar. Not puff bar. Bar. Coconut almond bar. And if you want to be a big Baylor fan or a big, locked on Baylor fan, and you want me to win, then you should go vote for the coconut puff bar. Not puff bar. Coconut almond bar to win. You vote for that bar, support your bar or puff, not puff bar. And you'll be entered to a drawing to win 50 people, locked on people, will win one box free of Built. And one lucky locked on listener will win a 12-month subscription to Built. So you got to try Built. Built is the best protein bar ever. Seriously, they are amazing. Go see what makes them so good at Sam's or Walmart. Go to BuiltMarchMadness.com right now to vote for your favorite bar or puff. Do it right now. Built.com/March Madness. BuiltMarchMadness.com. Yeah. Scott, Drew, you spoke to the team and the media. You've spoken to the team a lot lately. And the media. What do you got to say about today's matchup against UCSB?
Well, it's always a blessing to be a part of March Madness. It's the best time of year if you're a college basketball fan, player, coach. And during that month, unbelievable highs, unbelievable lows, but you got to thank God every time you get an opportunity to be a part of it. I love this team, excited to see what we can do in March. And obviously, each and every year it seems like the parity's in an all-time high, but that's what makes March Madness so great.
Okay, we'll take questions for Coach. Again, raise your hand. We'll get you a handheld microphone. Please identify yourself and your affiliation. Second row here on the right.
Hey, Scott. Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Just curious what kind of similarities you see between this team and your 2021 team. Obviously, you guys have a really good offense again. And Adam was saying that, getting bounced in the Big 12 tournament early on like you did that year could also serve as a motivation for you guys.
Well, I think the thing that stands out right away is the offensive production at the guard spot. The year we won it all, this year, a lot of similarities as far as offensive talent. I think it's great having Flo and John in the interior that have national championship experience as well. But at the end of the day, that team was in the tournament defended at an elite level, and we're capable of that, and hopefully we can do that.
Front row on the left.
John Orner, Waco Tribune Hero. Scott, you guys got here a little early. I guess you may be acclimating a little. And how are the rebounding drills going?
Well, we got here early to make sure you didn't get stranded on a mountain hiking or anything, so we did our job. We like the 70-degree weather better than the snow, but it's great to get to the site and get focused, be with the group. As far as we had a great couple days of practice leading up to this, and praise God, no one got injured. So that's the most important thing. We got better and didn't lose anybody. So excited to see how much we've improved come Friday.
We'll go to the fourth row on the right.
Scott, Kyle Newman with the Denver Post. You mentioned Flo and John. How has the offense changed since John got back? And then just the chemistry between them, and how are you kind of utilizing both of those guys in different but same roles? Well,
to start with, John, because of his injury, was able to spend a lot of time just working on his shot and his passing. And his skill level is really improved. So now you get a stretch big, someone who can shoot 40-50% from three, and that opens up the offense. At the same time, it allows Flo and John both to compete harder and leave more out there and not worry as much about foul trouble because they have each other.
We'll go to the back in the middle.
Hey, Scott. Richie Casalino with CBS Sports Colorado. Your brother Bryce is also here in Denver. Curious the conversations you guys have had, and are you making any time for family this week?
Yeah, so I was able to see him last night before their team meeting, and that's a huge blessing. Made it real easy for my mom and dad, and they're getting up in age, so it's harder for them to travel. So going to one spot is a lot easier, and the biggest thing was in the bracket. It was a blessing we didn't have to play each other. So we can cheer for each other, and hopefully we can stay around together.
We'll go second row on the right.
Scott, Paul Orner with the Victory Bell. Piggybacking on that, it has been 25 years since the shot, and the first victory in the NCAA tournament. Just when you think about that number, what does that mean to you, the silver anniversary of that?
25 years makes me feel a lot older, and you can't believe how quick time flies. At the same time, an unbelievable March Madness memory, and something that a lot of times your biggest moments, you want to share them with family, and I was able to do that with my dad being the head coach, my brother being there, and whenever I see that, it's a blessing. And again, 25 years, it's amazing how quick time flies, and I know the older we all get, we all say the same thing about how life moves, and that's why I just thank God every time you get an opportunity to be a part of March Madness. Tomorrow's never promised for any of us.
In terms of that, we
On the
all
left-hand side here.
we all saw the story on Twitter yesterday. When you find out that Grand Canyon doesn't have their uniforms, who makes the call to offer up Baylor jerseys, and how'd that all go down?
Well, we charge them by the hour, so but yeah, whatever we can do to help. And actually, we were in that situation once. We went to Syracuse. I think it was 06, 05, something like that, and our uniform shoes didn't show up, so they were gracious enough to let us use their stuff, and ours got there just in time for the game. Otherwise, it had been Syracuse versus Syracuse. So anyway, normally that doesn't happen nowadays with charter flights, but I was glad Big Brother was able to help if they needed whatever they needed.
We'll go on the right, third row.
Jim Meehan, Spokesman Review. How often is Bryce calling for info on Gonzaga since your success the last couple of meetings? And then a scouting report on his pickleball ability with you and Mark.
Yeah, so Roger Powell was with my brother, and they've been great friends. So I know they, and same with us, we know a lot about each other's program. It's tough when you play that person, but other than that, you always cheer for them. I know both staffs really respect one another, and obviously the toughest decision was who Coach Few was going to choose as a partner. I'm a great recruiter, so I recruited him right away. My dad and brother were going to take us on if we had time, but we didn't have time to get it in.
Second row on the left.
Yeah, hey Scott, Michael Haig with the Baylor Lariat. Do you have an update on Langston Love and his status for tomorrow?
Be a game time decision, but he has been able to go through practice, so that's a positive.
Far right.
Scott, Jeff Legwald, ESPN. Just going back down memory lane a little bit to your brother's shot. That moment sort of introduced a lot of people to your dad.
Yeah.
Maybe the casual fan, but how often do people ask him, you, Bryce, about that play, just as you go?
I know they get asked a lot more than I do. At the same time, I know my dad, a Hall of Fame coach, and it was great that Valpo's platform grew a lot, and people were able to see just what God was able to do with Valpo's program. And my dad is somebody that doesn't care about any accolades, awards. He just wants to serve his players, and always has, always does, and still does to this day, helping them with jobs or marital career advice, anything. But it was great as a big brother to see your little brother hit that shot, and it was great to see people talk positive about your dad. And again, when you talk about iconic moments, when you see that, my first thought is, dang, that's what it looks like when I had more hair. My dad had hair, and my brother was a pup. But again, that's what makes March Madness so special. You have opportunities to have those great moments.
That was Scott Drew. Scott, thank you very much. UCSB today. I hope you watch this podcast before the game goes. I hope you do, because if Baylor loses, and I just told you that they were going to win, bar none, undefeated, period, that would be bad. So, sick 'em Bears forever. I really hope we have basketball to talk about on Monday, because baseball is not going so well. I'll see you guys Monday after Baylor bought its ticket to the Sweet 16. This has been Always Will Be Locked On. Thank you for making it your first listen every single day. Baylor.